Yo, crew, Skippy back here with a good friend, Travis Bellantino. We've never skied together. We seem to meet when it's not ski season because that's when I'm traveling with my rig. But he's a huge skater. Before skiing came skateboarding. And for people who don't know, they do this thing in skiing lifestyle called the Dawn Patrol, where you get up real early, you go climb a mountain, you do a lap of skiing, and then you go to work. Well, when Travis can't ski, he does a Dawn Patrol in the skate parks. And those lazy ass kids. And so what is it? You're in West Jordan, right?
Yeah, but the skate park that I take care of is actually in West Valley.
Okay.
So, West Jordan doesn't have a skate park yet.
That's right. So, that's right. Yeah, you're trying to get one there. So, and then he goes in and he cleans up before he can get skating, and then he goes off to work as a carpenter. And I tell you, I've seen some of his work. He's a master carpenter.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. No, man. I've seen your work. I always talk to my friends when I'm doing...
I really appreciate that, and I do. I take highly in my work. I mean, if you don't love what you do, you're doing something wrong, and I pride myself in what I do, and you see it. So
yeah, man. If you want to see some of his hardwood floor installations and making of the hardwood floor, check out Travi at Travi801 on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about telemark skiing, believe it or not. We're going to talk about skateboarding and how a company called Skate Respect, and what is it?
Skatepark Respect.
That's it. Skatepark. I always forget the
Skatepark Respect is actually a registered nonprofit.
Okay. So before we get to go there, let's talk about skating. Because where'd you grow up, man? Because I don't think it's like a typical skate area.
Well, no, I grew up in Kearns, honestly. You know, I was born in South Dakota.
Right.
But shortly after I was born, my father passed, and then we moved to Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
Mom got a place in West Jordan, which is borderline Kearns. I went to Kearns High and all that good stuff. But yeah, I started skateboarding at a very young age. I mean, my first skateboard, I think my mother got me when I was probably 5 years old, which was a plastic penny board made by a company called Veriflex. Got me thinking here, but yeah, that was my first, first
in the trucks.
That's when the door opened for skateboarding.
So. I had a similar skateboard, and the trucks, I think it was more of a pipeline skateboard because the trucks didn't have the rubbers. It had a spring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But even before that, we skated on my buddy's dad's skateboard, which was 5 inches wide, maybe a little longer than a foot, and had steel wheels.
Oh, wow. No, that's awesome. And I'll tell you what, if you could get your hands on that board, it better be hanging on a wall somewhere. If not, some things, man, they're sought after these days, and people collect them. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so
for sure. I was watching American Pickers, and they ran into some guy who had a huge skate shop, and he had all the posters and stuff like back from the 80s and all that sort of stuff. So they were calling up some guy, saying, we got this, we got these posters. They would have all these crews come around to the different communities and put on shows and competitions and that sort of stuff. It was really cool.
Oh, yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, I look back at all the skateboards that I had growing up. If I had a clue that people would be after those things to this day, I'm about to shoot myself in the foot for it, because I had some of these boards I had back in the day were highly sought after, and
right,
like one, for example, was called was made by a company called Zorlak,
right,
but the board was a Metallica themed skateboard.
Oh,
Zorlak
nice.
Metallica, the band. This was back when Metallica in the 80s, when they were almost a garage band.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can imagine the value on one of those nowadays to the right collector. I bet someone would pay over $1,000 for that piece of wood.
Well, that's like us Canadians on our hockey cards. Our mums threw them out, and then we're like, we're in our 30s and go, do you know how much money you threw out?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to that was my first skateboard, and then shortly after that, my very first pro model was made by Sims. It was a Kevin Staub Pirate, which that board is actually highly sought after nowadays as well. But I that was, that was what, really turned it on for me. And you got to think that was back in 1987. The vert scene was starting to take off because, right around that time in the mid 80s, a lot of the concrete skate parks in California started to get tore down and whatnot.
Right.
And what did they do? They started building vert ramps and stuff like that. So that's kind of when I got into skateboarding. I was more into skating transition than street skating.
Right.
But that was kind of starting to come into play too at that time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun for me growing up. I never really got into basketball or football or whatnot. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. My mom was a single mother, and
Right.
she got me that skateboard, and that's what we did, me and all my friends. And, I looked up to a lot of the neighborhood kids, all the kids I hung out with, their older brothers were skateboarders, and I really looked up to them. And it was a lot of fun, kept me out of trouble,
Right.
And to this day, I will tell you, skateboarding it teaches you a lot of good, valuable life lessons. The major one, the number one being, don't ever give up. Skateboarding, we're going to talk about skiing a little bit.
Yeah.
Skateboarding's kind of like telemark skiing.
Yeah.
The learning curve of telemark skiing, you kind of got to have that, damn it, I'm going to learn how to do this.
That's right.
Otherwise, you're going to fail.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I'll say it straight up just like that.
Yep.
Skateboarding's the same way.
Yeah.
With every trick you learn or everything you learn on a skateboard, you don't learn it overnight, man. It takes trial and error and falls and scrapes and bruises and sometimes broken bones.
Yeah. Oh, I remember as a kid going through that.
Exactly. But when you accomplish whatever it is you're trying to do, the feeling you get from that, how it goes. It's
especially when you watch Dylan. So Travis's middle child, Dylan, he's gotten into telemark skiing just like his old man, and now he's gotten into skating, and he's on Instagram, and I see some of the stuff that he's doing. I bet you just kind of sit back there and you're one big proud papa.
Oh, you have no idea.
Especially
Keith.
when you could both go to the park together, right?
Yeah. Well, and that, and that kind of goes back to, dude, losing my dad. My dad, he was 23 years old when he died. I was 6 months old. And dude, I don't take a single day for granted with my kids. I cherish every damn moment that I get to spend with them. I look at it this way, my dad was 23 when he died. I'm 43 now. I've got to spend an extra 20 years with my kids.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, Dylan is kind of what got me back into skateboarding, because there was a time, once I got into high school and got into cars, that I kind of got into fixing up cars and all that stuff. That's what happened after skateboarding. But the love of skateboarding never went away. I always had that love of skateboarding. Well, you have kids, and Dylan, he started out riding scooters.
Right.
And I would take him to the skate park and watch him go. And me, I'm a skier, I'm a go-getter, I'm a doer. And that only lasted for a couple of months, I'll be honest with you. And after watching him and stuff, I was just like, I'm gonna go get my skateboard, and I'm gonna start pushing around again, and
show Dylan what the old man can do, man.
Oh, and that's what was funny. When Dylan seen me roll into the bowl that first time, he was just like blown away. He took his allowance and he went and bought his first skateboard himself. He's like, Dad, I'm putting this scooter down. I'm going to go buy me a skateboard. And the rest is history for him. He's watching him progress this past couple of years has blown my mind. Honestly, nice. Keith, it's been a lot of fun. And, I've seen it hand in hand. I've seen that kid fall on his ass. I've seen him bust himself, and I've seen him get right back up and do it, whether it's not that day or, we come back again, another day. I'm not too pushy with him when it comes to that stuff. Cause I know, when you want something bad enough and you can't get it, he'll get upset sometimes. And I'm like, dude, you need to go skate, go do something else for a minute, man. You need to walk away from this for a minute.
That's right.
So,
go take your mind off it. Yeah.
But, that being said, I think me being there with him to help kind of push him, oh, you got this, D. I know what you're capable of. I know I love being that, being that part of it.
Yeah, I know. I saw him a post. I think it was from yesterday. You guys skiing, or maybe it was from this morning. And I sent him a message, and I was like, "Hey, dude, can I send you your annual ski tip?" He goes, "Yeah,
Oh
sure."
yeah, I was there with him for that. He's like, "What should I say, Dad?" I'm like, "Tell him to fire away, dude."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, I was there for that. No, I appreciate that. And that's some of the pointers you've given me the past few years skiing with him, man. I've applied those to what and I've seen it work.
yeah.
It's been a lot of fun skiing with that kid.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I have a granddaughter. Some of the listeners will know, and Telemark Ski Ontario, we're disbanding our youth program. So I've snagged
Nice.
her a few pair of boots and a pair of skis. All I need is the bindings. And
Yeah.
she's only 8 months old, but I've
you
got the
go.
gear for her for when she decides to start skiing.
Well, yeah, Tyson, I think I'm going to start him out with some Volley 3 pins.
Yep.
I got a pair of skis for him. I mean, and with him, I had him skiing a little bit, but man, that one winter, this was a couple years ago, he got sick and ended up in ICU. So that kind of put a damper on things. And then COVID hit last winter.
Right.
And I didn't even get a ski pass last season. So
Yeah, neither did we.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to get him back out there and get him
Nice.
on the hill. And I was talking with Josh. I was like, I think I'm just going to go straight to the telemark. I mean, it seemed to work really well with Dylan. And
Yep. Well, that's like my son-in-law. He skied a really long time ago. He snowboards with my daughter, and I was like, and my daughter said when they get our granddaughter on the snow, they're going to teach her skiing first. And so I said to him, I said, well, you need a pair of skis and a pair of boots, and you haven't skied in a long time, so you're probably going to suck. So you may as well start right at telly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's got a nice pair of the Scarpa T4s and a pair of Vocal Bridge twin tips.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, because we were selling the gear off for like $100 for a set for kids.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. We're not into making
awesome.
money. Yep. So let's get back to the skating.
Yeah, no, let's do that. Sounds like a good idea, man. So yeah, so I got back into skateboarding.
Yep.
With Dylan, and right out the get, one of the first things I noticed was trash at the skate parks. It blew my mind how much trash was getting left. And the big kicker for me was one morning we went to go to the Sandy skate park.
Right.
And we'll back up just a little bit. So, dude, we've got a number of skate parks just in the Salt Lake Valley alone. Every city pretty much has their own skate park, excuse me. Aside to West Jordan where we are, there's a couple cities that don't have one yet, but I bet you we've got almost a dozen skate parks within a half hour, 45 minutes drive.
Nice.
So yeah, one morning I was like, well, let's go check out the Sandy skate park, Dylan, and we get down there and the skate park was closed. There was a sign said closed because of trash. And I'm like, oh, wow, that sucks. Well, all right, whatever, let's go. And that skate park, that particular park is fenced off anyway.
Right.
So when they close it, it's closed.
Right.
And so since we were down south that way, we decided to go check out the Riverton skate park. We went there for probably 20, 30 minutes. And then same thing, we were down at the south end of the valley, and we decided to go check out the Harriman skate park. And this is where it gets, this is the kicker. We get to the Harriman skate park, guess what? Closed. Trash.
Jeez.
And I was like, man, that's what killed me. I was just like, you got to be kidding me. This isn't cool, man. We gotta do something about this. I just could not let that happen to the West Valley City Skate Park because, and the reason I go to that park is it's on my way to work.
Right. I
can hit it right on my way to work, and when I got back into skateboarding with Dylan, I was hooked like glue, man. I wanted to skate it was good for me too, because I'd get in, go get a session in before work, and I'd come to work, get my exercise, and come to work with a good attitude. Hey, just scared the shit out of myself for an hour, and but yeah. So back to West Valley, you know, I'd get there in the mornings and there'd just be a lot of trash. I mean, it was bad. And
Right.
I was just like, I'm not going to let this happen because first off, West Valley is not, it's not fenced off. So you can come there at the crack of dawn before the sun's getting up
Right.
and have that place to yourself till, you know, till like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So yeah, man, I'd hit it on my way to work and just kind of I'd show up and pick up trash. It'd usually take me anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes.
Wow.
You know, you've seen, I've been doing it for, you know, the last 3 years.
Yes.
So,
yep.
and, you know, it just kind of became a kind of a second hobby for me. You know, I felt like, you know, I love skateboarding. How can, you know, rather than just skateboard and enjoy it, how can I give back to it in a sense, you know? And
Yep.
I started doing that, and the skate park respect thing just came, you know, just this last spring.
Yep.
So I did it throughout this whole summer, and I kind of found out about them, kind of reached out to them, kind of told them what I was doing, and they asked me if I'd be interested in becoming an ambassador for them. And
very cool.
I'll be honest with you, I was all for it. You know, it was basically doing what I've already done. But,
yep.
you know, one of the things I do, you know, and these kids, you know, the reason I do it, man, is a lot of these kids need that place. It keeps them out of trouble.
Well,
it
that
really
was
does,
that was
know?
like
And,
me. We didn't have skate parks where I grew up. We had basketball court.
Oh, neither did I.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we didn't have any skate parks.
No. One of my favorite things skating was we'd go to the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, and they had underground parking with spiral ramps.
Oh,
yeah. So we'd get that. Oh man, those floors underneath there were so nice for street skating.
Let me tell you something, Keith. We still do that to this day, man. When there's snow on the ground, where do you think the kids go? They go hit these parking garages downtown.
That's right.
You go there on a Sunday, and they're usually empty. But yeah, so yeah, they reached out to me, asked me, you know, they asked me if I would, you know, was interested in becoming an ambassador, and I was all for it. You know, I was like, you know, why not? You know, and part of what I do, you know, is you know, I'll pick up the trash and whatnot, and if there's debris in the bowls, I'll get my leaf blower out. I'll blow out the debris.
I was just gonna say, you don't show up just with garbage bags.
Skateboard,
yep.
Yeah, you hit a rock on your skateboard, you're dead meat.
We've all done that.
Oh, absolutely. Been there, done that, you know. And
yeah, instant acceleration.
It, you know, since I got back, you know, since I've gotten back on the skateboard, don't get me wrong, I've had a couple of good tumbles, man. it definitely comes with the territory, but
and you're built like a pinball too, man, compared to me.
Man,
you imagine me doing that?
I don't feel like I took a good hit, a couple. I'm still feeling it, man. I took one probably a good month or two. It was back in, was it October or early November? I think it was early November. I went to fly into the bowl, and a kid rolled in right in front of me. I was a little guy too. He was probably 8, 9 years old at the most. Luckily, he was short enough to where when I rolled in, I just kind of hopped over the top of him.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, he went down, but not as hard as I did, man. I smacked the other side of the bowl and hit my shoulder into it. So I was feeling it in my shoulder. Then I got a nice little lump on the elbow. We call it a swell bow.
Right.
Skateboarding. So I've been kind of nursing that for a bit.
I've been there as a phys ed teacher. I'll tell the kids, because I was one of the guys who we'd do drills and stuff for class, and then we'd play a game, and I'd play. And it's like, if something happens and there's going to be a collision with me, I'm going to grab you, I'm going to hang on to you real tight, and I'm going to roll onto my back so you land on top of me. And I've done that a few times. I remember the first time it happened to a colleague's son I was teaching, and he like looked at me. He's like, whoa.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what Skatepark Respect is. So like I said, it's a nonprofit.
Yep.
You know, they're out of California.
Okay.
And basically is what it is they started this thing based on a theory. They call it the broken window theory. And it made a lot of sense to me because I was a punk teenager too, you know.
Right.
the broken window theory goes like this. So if you're a teenager and you're walking down the street and you see this vacant house per se, and there's a broken window, what does that tell you as a teenager? Well, hey, this place is abandoned, beat up. Let's break another window.
Exactly.
So, that's just kind of that mindset. So our goal is if you go by a place and there's no broken windows and it's nice and clean, people are usually going to just keep on walking, leave it alone. Well, we're hoping to, to take that right into the skate park. If these kids start showing up and seeing us picking up the skate park all the time, and, don't get me wrong, since I've been doing this, I have talked to these kids, man. I have talked to them till I'm blue in the face, Keith. I want them to understand what they have is something that, when
we
I was a
we
kid,
didn't
I would
have.
have
We didn't
I would
have.
have given the world to have that place.
That's right.
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah. But so skate park respect. Yeah, our number one goal is to let's talk. Let's get in with the community.
Yeah.
Community outreach. Let's make it. Let's raise awareness to what we're doing and what we're about, and hopefully it does good for us. And then the other thing is like graffiti removal, stuff like that.
Right.
Because the city, we try to get in good with the city as well.
Right.
Because you get in good with the city, they'll listen to ideas we have that we'll throw out there. One of the things I've been advocating for is lights at the skate park.
Right.
So these kids, some of the skate parks we have around town are lit up at night.
Yeah.
And the lights go out at 10:30.
Yeah.
Which honestly by then, the kids should be home, getting their butts in bed. But let me tell you something, Keith. If your kid's at the skate park until 8, 9, 10 o'clock, that's going to keep them out of trouble.
For sure.
Mind.
Yeah.
Then they're having to race home, get their butts home, and get in bed for school because mom's going to kick their butt. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? But
yeah.
So that's kind of my number one goal of, let's keep that place open. Let's give these kids something good,
Yeah.
And it's, it's a lot of fun, man.
And some of the stuff that you're doing with the community, I think I saw this summer, you guys had a skate camp for young kids.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about that too. That's another thing. Yeah. That's funny. I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely need to talk about that. So that's another thing, I got involved with, it's a program for the youth. It's called Spock's Skate Camp.
Okay. Yep.
And is what we do is we teach kids how to skateboard, and it's funny how that started, me, going to the skate park early in the morning. On the weekends, I'd be dragging Dylan with me or, whatever, whenever I could, I'd drag Dylan down there with me. Well, there's this guy, his name's Spock. He goes by Spock. His name's Eric Ukuleles. He's a really good guy. And, and what he does, I my hat's off to him. I mean, it's awesome. And I put Dylan in Spock skate camp once earlier on and he did pretty good with it. And I just never really pushed it on him.
Yeah.
He got into soccer. We did soccer for a minute and stuff, but he did a skate camp earlier on and I thought it was pretty neat. So I knew about it then, but it was funny. We were at the skate park one morning and Spock came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I see you here all the time with your son. I really like your style. Would you be interested in helping me coach one of my classes?"
Nice.
And at first, I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought he was joking. I'm like, "You really want me to coach? Come on, dude." I mean, because even now, Keith, I mean, I don't get too crazy when I skate around. I mean, you see, I carve around and that's what I like to do. I like to carve around a little bit. I'll do a fly out here and there, but I try not to get too crazy just because I got a lot of responsibility on my plate. So I gotta be safe, but
you're getting wise, man.
Oh, that's when you get older, you get wiser, right? That's what they say.
I just say, homie, don't play that anymore.
Oh yeah. But at first I thought he was kidding, man. I was like, really? And I just kind of brushed it off for a minute, and frickin' just went about my thing for a minute. And few weeks goes by and same thing. I'm there at the park in the morning with Dylan. He shows up to do a private lesson and he's like, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You want to coach with me?" And I was just like, "Really?" He's like, I flat ass told him, I'm like, I didn't think you were serious, man. But if you're serious, I'll really put some thought into this, And I did. I went home that night. I talked to my wife and I talked to my boss because we do this on Thursday mornings. I'm a
Right.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or so we had to make a little adjustment for my schedule. My boss was all for it.
Cool.
They thought it'd probably, my boss probably thought it'd be a good thing for me. Which I'm glad they let me do it because it's been a lot of fun, dude. Is what I do. I get up there early in the morning, Thursdays, get the park all ready, and we coach a lesson till what is it, from 9 to 11.
Nice. Well, you know what? A happy employee, you'll work harder.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. For sure. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man.
That's awesome.
So
does Eric have a presence on Instagram or Facebook or a website for his camps?
Oh yeah, Spock Skate Camp.
Okay, cool.
Just look it up. He's on Instagram, Facebook, and he's on the web. We do a bunch of programs. We do one at the West Valley skate parks. We do Cottonwood Heights. We do the Van Skate Park. I want to say I might be missing one, but there's a few of them. And
yeah, I'll put a link when I put it promote this up on Instagram. I'll put a link up for him too. So
no, that'd be rad. Yeah. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun, and I'm honestly I'm gonna do it again this summer as well.
Nice.
So part of my deal with him was if you want me to do this, how about this? All I ask is Dylan gets to ride along with me.
Yeah.
I'm 100% cool with giving back. Giving back where I can, man. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
yeah,
do it solely for them kids, man, and it's fun. I mean, get a couple of little girls in my class, for example. The first summer I did it, I coached these little girls all summer long, and just to see them progress and the way they took on to me, man, it just felt so good to. I don't know. I just loved every part of it, man.
That's awesome.
Watching the kids progress and just, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Come on. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. One of my,
I guarantee you're retired now, but how many of these kids still reach out to you, Keith?
Oh, I went to visit a friend because I would have an outers club in I taught middle school. So it was mostly about cycling education and that sort of stuff because the kids are riding. I wanted them to be safe. And we'd spend the end of the year on a 200-mile cycling trip down to a provincial park and that sort of stuff. So I went out, he's a friend now, and he's got a farm, and he's got 3 boys. And when Ian was telling his boys about what they did, and they're like, "What? We don't have that? That's not fair." And there's so many kids who were part of that outdoor ed club that, like, one girl, she went over to Europe, to the Netherlands on an exchange. Now, I don't know if it was in university or later in high school, but she said everybody rides bikes. She got herself a bicycle, and she said the confidence that she learned riding with our outdoor ed club helped her navigate, the cities in the Netherlands. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I have some kids who are, they work as outdoor educators and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But one of my favorite things, I would play 3-pitch with the kids, and I always pitched just so the pitching was consistent. Yeah. And I would have primarily girls say, "I can't hit a baseball." I said, "You'll be able to. Just listen to what I have to say. The bat does not hit the ball. The ball hits your bat. So when I throw the ball up to you, you keep an eye on the ball, and as the ball comes in, you just present your bat, and you'll hit it. And you know what? First pitch, bang, and they're standing there like, I hit it. I said, get to first base. Run! I'm gonna throw you out, man. Awesome. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah. Those those girls, and the light goes off. It's like, I can hit a baseball. I never have
Oh, yeah.
before, you know, so.
Now I'm glad you said that too, because that's one of the things too nowadays. Back when I was a kid, there wasn't too many girl skateboarders. I mean, don't get me
Right.
wrong, there was a couple, but
Yeah.
nowadays, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. We'll talk about the Spock Skate Camp. One of the other things we do is it's called Sisterhood of Shred,
Nice.
and it's every other Sunday. It's an all women's enrichment, man. It is a lot of fun, and it's free of charge. We do it free of charge, just to encourage skateboarding.
Yeah.
For girls. So
both my girls skated. They had longboards, and they were out. Yep.
And it's fun too because it's not just little girls, man. We get moms and daughters.
Oh, nice.
And that's been the funnest part with the sisterhood is some of these the older women. You're talking some of these women are my age, some of them are mid-30s, but these older women, there's a couple of them out there that really shine. I mean, they progressed pretty good. One of them was actually slashing grinds.
No way.
By the end of summer, man.
Now, do these
the limit with that, man.
Do these women come as newbies with their children, or do some of them have skating in the background? Sure. Really? Wow.
A couple of them were newbies, but one of them was, a couple of them are really good snowboarders.
Okay.
We got that here.
Yeah.
And they took right onto it.
For sure.
And Spock, he's a real good coach too.
Yeah.
He's a good coach at getting, he's good at getting people's confidence up, and just the way, I don't know, just the way he does it. It's interesting. I like to sit back every now and then and kind of watch his ways, because there's just something about what he does, man. It blows my mind. He'll have these kids, little kids, even just before you know it, they're rolling into the bowl.
Right. Yeah.
Some of these kids, there's a couple of kids around town that just rip it up, and guess what? Guess where they started? Spock's
really
camp.
Nice.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, you as long as you get some good solid basics when you're young, and then you get going. Yeah,
for sure. And like I was saying, back when I was a kid, we didn't have any skate parks really.
Yeah,
we had a roller skating rink. It was called Classic Skating.
Okay.
And every Wednesday night, they would set up a couple of quarter pipes and a couple of boxes and rails and
that's cool.
launch ramps, stuff like that for us.
Yeah.
And we'd do that. But aside to that, we didn't have any concrete skate parks at all. So
yeah. We didn't have anything in Montreal. We would build our own ramps.
Yeah. No, that's what we did when I was a kid. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but we used to go raid these job sites at the end of the neighborhood and get our lumber and hammer down.
I think all skaters have done that.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we got our carpenter skills, man.
Oh, see. No, you have no idea, man. We did too. We built a lot of good contraptions back in the day, and that was the funnest thing, I think, was building those launch ramps. We built launch ramps, and I don't know how many bruises and scrapes I got off of those things. I never, knock on wood, I never broke anything skateboarding, but man, I definitely got some good scrapes and bruises, knocked out a couple teeth.
Oh, jeez. I didn't do, I just got the scrapes and bruises. I didn't break anything. I didn't lose any teeth.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's cool.
Fun stuff, man. But no, the skate park respect thing,
I thought that was so cool.
In disguise,
yeah.
I really enjoy doing that. And the one of the cool things about this, Keith, is since I got involved with them, at first I was the only ambassador in the state of Utah.
Wow.
And, me being involved with the skate camp, a couple of people from skate camp found out about what I was doing. One guy in particular, Jack Parker, I got to mention his name because he was the first one that took note of what I was doing. And
this is the small crew that I see in some of your posts.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, no, totally. And Jack's, his story's kind of funny too, man, but his whole family just kind of started skateboarding together, but they have progressed very, at a pretty fast, really fast, honestly. But anyway, so what was I gonna say? Sorry,
that's okay. You were the only ambassador in Utah, and now you've got a couple more.
Oh yeah, It's the only ambassador at first, and then Jack Parker got involved. And since he got involved, I want to say we've got, geez, man, we've got, I'll just say the skate parks that are taken care of by us now. We've got me at West Valley, Jack's at Fairmont. We've got a guy at South Jordan. We've got somebody at Sandy. We've got somebody at the Lehigh Park. So, and I want to say somebody's going to take over Cottonwood Heights, and possibly we're working on the Holiday Skate Park. So
wow,
pretty crazy.
Quite a crew, man. That's just within a year and a bit, probably.
Yeah, no, that's what blows my mind. I love that, you know, because now is what we can do is team up. And
right,
you know, for example, I'm getting ready to do I've been talking with Harriman City,
right,
because, you know, remember I was telling you how they closed down the track and yada yada. Well, I've gotten in touch with them and kind of shine light on Skatepark Respect, told them what we were about, what we do and whatnot, and they thought that was great. And I says, hey, how would you like to set up a skate park cleanup? Let's get some, you know, let's get the community involved, and we'll get, you know, I'll get my crew together, and I've been talking with Jack Parker and stuff, and I think we can round up quite the crew, and we'll all go to the Harriman Skate Park. I think they're talking about doing it sometime in April, but yeah, we'll all meet up there, get some people, you know, from the community involved, and go to town, man. Clean this place up, and you know, we don't just clean up the garbage, man. If we see cracks or whatever, busted up concrete, we'll patch it in, fill it in, you know, all that stuff. So we'll go in there and just go ham on that skate park for, you know, a couple hours, and hopefully gain a new ambassador while we're there. So
that's cool. A lot. Yeah. And you know what, being part of the Skatepark Respect gives you like credibility, right? So you can go and talk to the communities and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. You know, and another thing I'd like to shine light on is another a nonprofit is Go Skate Utah.
Okay.
And he's a skate park advocate, and his whole idea is, let's get talking with these cities about, if they don't have a skate park, let's get one on the agenda here. You know, we've for example, we attended a city council meeting at Bountiful City just recently, and we brought the kids along. The kids actually sat in the council meeting, and the thing that I thought was cool is, you know, the council members noticed that there were kids in the council meeting, and they asked the kids to get up and tell them a little bit about themselves.
Right on.
And that to me, that was neat, you know, because one thing, you know, one of the things they were having a problem with is there was a park that they were getting ready to remodel, revamp.
Right.
And it was either a pickleball court or a skate park.
Right.
And the pickleballers were really slinging mud at the skateboarders, you know, talking about, you know, they're punk kids, yada, 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 graffiti, yada, 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 you know, all of that stuff. Well, our number one goal was to get in there and show them, hey, there's skate park respect now.
Yeah.
There's actually people that want to take care of your skate park. So there's that, you know, and no, we're not all punks, and we're not all heathens and hoodlums, you know. You know, we tried to shine light on that as well, you know, and I think we did pretty good with that. I mean, bringing the kids to that council meeting, they got to talk to these kids and really see that, you know, skateboarding definitely has a good side to it. You know, for one, it's an Olympic sport now. That's something I never thought I'd see. I thought I'd see telemark skiing before skateboarding, Keith.
Okay, all right. You know what? They got freaking curling in there. My uncle went ballistic on me because his wife does a big thing for, I think, Curling Manitoba or Curling Canada. And I'm like, I've curled. Curling is fun in the wintertime, but like as an Olympic sport, yeah, I'm not sure. You know, it's and you know what? It's like NASCAR. They call it a sport. You know what? The drivers are athletes. I know that, but to me, it's like you can pass time with it. You can have a nap, watch, wake up, nap. It's like golf. You know, and my dad's like the largest importer and distributor of golf accessories in Canada, and I'm the only family member who doesn't play because It's
Are
a
you
pass.
serious?
Yeah, I'd rather ride my bicycle, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Or go
though,
paddle
man.
boarding. Yeah. So every
There you go.
every
No,
golfer.
I like your style. I won't hate on that because no, that's kind of one of my other things. If I'm not on a skateboard, I like to get out and do a couple of camping trips and go up to the lake. I love paddleboarding too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. It's
Well,
relaxing.
Yeah. We've got canoes too and kayaks and that sort of stuff. So
Nice.
we'll have to plan a trip. You guys got to come out to my cottage.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah, do a cross country road trip, man. You know what? Your family could even fly into Burlington, Vermont, and I'll drop down and pick you up, and because it's about doesn't matter whether you fly into Montreal or fly into Burlington, it's the same difference.
Huh.
Flights will be
All
cheaper. Right. Flights will be cheaper for you to come into Burlington. Yeah.
Heck yeah. So, have you been to the Midwest Telefest?
Nope. I haven't.
No.
I have being an educator. I don't get to I didn't get to travel.
Yeah.
I had to kind of put forth a really good argument to my principal when I went as a jump judge for World Cup races in Vermont. And I said, listen, I'm the guy who puts these athletes. I do all the registration and all that stuff. This is when I ran Telemark Ski Canada. I said, why can't you guys give provisions? Because a friend of mine, she's an Olympic athlete. She's a pentathlete. I said, you guys give her provisions to go to the Olympics, and I'm the guy who does all the administration. You should let me go. So she goes, yeah, you're right. Okay. So the way I planned it was with some personal days and calling in sick and that sort of sick days. And so at least I got to go.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So now we're on telemark skiing.
I know. How did we end up there? Exactly.
Well, that's okay, because you know what? I wanted most of this podcast to be about skate park respect, and because you did a podcast with Josh, you and Dylan, and it was pretty much all about telemark skiing. So if listeners want to find out more about, Travis and his son Dylan and their voyage or journey into telemark skiing, you need to check out Josh Madsen's Free Hill Life podcast and listen to a great podcast there. Goes out every Monday. Yeah. So, so you're back skiing at the Bird now?
Yeah, no, we got a pass this year. Got the family pass. So yeah, Dylan and I have been soaking that up for the most part now. But my wife, she likes some nice, sunny, warmer days.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, she likes that. So
I know my wife is a trooper. My wife's a trooper. I said my wife's a trooper. We just went to the cottage, and it was pretty cold there. And you know what? She's a pinhead, so that's kind of cool. And like a lot of people, they think, oh my gosh, telemark is so hard. I said, my wife, Sean, she telemarks 50% of the time or less. The rest of the time, she's doing alpine turns. You do whatever you want to do to get you down the hill. But yeah, it was pretty cold when we were at the cottage. I think one day it may have been.
I could tell you this much. Your idea of cold and my idea of cold is probably a whole lot different, dude. I couldn't even imagine some of the temperatures you guys skiing.
There was one time, if you ever see a picture of me with my goggles on and my face covered,
yeah,
it's cold. There was one time I think I was skiing at Burke Mountain. It's a American National Ski Academy in Vermont. I think with us going down the hill into the wind, it had to have been close to minus 50.
You got to be kidding me. So yeah, when you said cold, I'm like, come on, Keith, shout it out. Give me a number here, because cold to me is as soon as it starts to hit the negatives, man. I'm just like, ew.
but our negatives. I guess
I'm just not. I'm not really that prepared for it, man. I got me a micro. I usually just ski. I got my base layers, a micro puffy, and a soft shell.
Right. Well, you know what? That's the way I
good for the most part.
That's the way I ski in minus 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you've probably seen photos on social media in the wintertime and me in just shorts and my big winter minus 70 boots.
No, And like you said, it's cold if you're wearing goggles because you usually don't wear goggles.
No,
Do you?
it's sunglasses, man. I prefer
Yeah, that's what
sunglasses
I thought.
because I can quickly change the lenses to the different conditions.
Well, yeah, even Keith Opperman, he's kind of the same way. He skis with sunglasses too.
Yeah,
quite a bit. So.
Yeah. So how long you been on telly, man?
I started in just right after. I think I started 2003.
Oh, nice.
So
that's cool.
Back when telemark was cool.
Yeah. No, now it's just dead, but we don't care, right?
I don't. Yeah. No, it's funny though, because back when I got into tele skiing, you could go into rental shops and get telemark equipment. It was readily available.
Yeah.
Now you just got to go to Free Hill Life, which I don't mind going there one bit. I love that place. I was so, following Josh for years, I was so stoked to see that he was going to open up a telemark specific ski shop.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
I was all for it.
Yeah, I know. I never ran into him when he worked at Height of Land Productions there that do Backcountry magazine and used to do telemark skier mag, because it's not far from my cottage, maybe an hour. So one time I rolled in there and I was wanting to get some of their swag, but it was like really expensive to send it across the border. So I just did a little jaunt and I rolled up in my Chrysler 300 and I jumped out and they're all sitting on a picnic table and I was like, I'm here. And they're like, who the hell is this guy? So then I told them who I was, and I can't remember who the editor there. His name's Adam somebody. Anyway, so he took me in, and I told him what I wanted, and he gave me some extra swag for making the special trip down there, and that was really cool. Yeah, yeah. So
heck yeah,
yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
it's been a lot of fun, though, man. I owe Josh the world. I mean, what he's been able to help me out with Dylan and stuff, and.
You know what? He's got
dude, Dylan has gone up a boot size every season he's been on telemark.
Wow.
Dude. Gone up an entire boot size. It's not like, it's nuts.
Yeah. I know it's incredible what Josh does out of that shop. I was going to chirp you, but then I realized you must have shared his post with the Protector 95 or the Protector series. It was looked like it was in the his skis leaning on the back of his Volkswagen or something. Because I was going to say, dude, are those my skis? Because I haven't got my
coming too, don't you?
Yeah, I haven't gotten them yet. Because you know what? I use Shop to track the stuff on the internet. And the last time, it's weird. During COVID, the USPS sends stuff from Salt Lake City to Compton, California. And then out. So the last I've heard of my skis was January 11th.
Really?
Yeah. So I hit Tay up yesterday or the day before, and it's like, dude, I still don't have my skis, man. I said, I've tracked them to this point. Can you check in your end? So he goes, yeah, we'll check on our end. So I can't wait to get those on. So
no, they're nice.
Yeah,
they did a good job with those, man. I mean, I got to help out a little bit in the first part of that.
Well, that would make sense, seeing that you're a carpenter.
Oh yeah, no, I got them all keen with the table saw and whatnot. And
I was chirping Josh because I saw some stuff there without guards, and I was like, dude, you need to keep the guards on, man. I'm all about guards, right?
He's old school.
Because I used to teach woodworking shop, right?
Yeah.
And I would have 16, 18 kids in there at a time, and these guys are like 12, 13, 14 years old. So you had to make sure we had a good day every day because everybody had 10 fingers and 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, heck yeah. Well, Josh did good, though. He got a saw stop, table saw.
Oh, nice.
You're familiar with those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, good call there. And yeah.
Yeah.
We honestly want to get one for our shop.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Save your fingers.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I think we'll kind of end this off. Yeah, so that you can get in and have some supper. It's getting dark there.
That's all good, man. I've been looking forward to doing this, and
I know.
We had that little bout with COVID, kind of set us back a couple of weeks, but
that's okay, man. Here we are. Hey, you know what? COVID has set my ski trip back 2 years now.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah. So
I've been looking forward to that. I'd love to get out and ski with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But like seriously, man, in the off season in the summertime, you need to get all the big and the little Bellatinos and come up to Quebec and have fun at the lake, and we'll tour you around.
Oh, dude, that would be so awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. For
What's it like up there in the summertime?
It's not as hot as it is there. It may get to we would consider. I would say 90 degrees is hot, 85 degrees is hot. Yeah, there are a couple of days where I just kind of spend the afternoon in the water under the dock out of the sun.
Nice.
But like we've,
that'd be great.
We go water skiing, tubing, kayaking, paddleboarding. When I can find my sailboat, I'll get my sailboat back. I have to replace it. Yeah. So yeah, and we cycle, and there's all sorts of cool things to visit in and around there. Quebec City's 3 hours away. So yeah,
there's some good skate parks out there nowadays, aren't there?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's got to be a couple up that way.
Possibly. So you definitely have to bring your boards.
Oh no! One thing I've noticed since I've gotten back on a skateboard, since I've gotten back on a skateboard, is you never leave your board. Oh man,
no,
you take that sucker everywhere you go, because you just never know. You might stumble upon something.
Yeah, yeah. It's like me skiing. I see all these pitches in farmers' fields, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I got to go ski that hill.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for doing this so much, Travis. Yeah. It's good seeing you.
Thanks for having me on. That was good to talk with you, Keith.
It was awesome. So, like, if you guys out there want to check out Travis's stuff, he's at TraviB801 on Instagram, and you're on Facebook too, right? And
absolutely.
Skateparkrespect.org, and they're on Instagram also, probably at Skatepark.org. Or skateparkrespect.org.
Yeah, Skatepark Respect, yeah, and then they're on Facebook as well.
And the Spock camps, right?
Yep.
In
Spock Skate Camp.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Travis.
No, yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, there you have it, crew. Another episode of the Skippy Report in the books. A huge thank you to my friend Travis Bellantino for sitting down with us on this episode and sharing his life story relating to skateboarding and where he is now, how he got here, how he's passing it on to the next generation, and sharing it with his son and even his younger son. And if you're in the U.S. and you're looking for some help with skate parks, check out the organization that he's an ambassador with, skateparkrespect.org. Anyways, check back later for another episode of the Skippy Report. Peace out.